Yeah, man. One of them something there again, We're there again, It's been a while. And guess what? It's gonna be a while. Cause I ain't got time for this shit. Nah, I lied to you. Yeah, man, I'm stepping on my chair, Yeah, we have to try to find the time though, but we don't really have no time for this. We wanna do it. We have the will. We have the energy. But the time now come in, but we figure it out still. Yeah, man. Kind of buy some new strips here may I try out, I got some, last time I said the lights was bad, I got some lights. You know what I mean? You got that over there. You got that up there. See that? And there's more. Yeah, we got lights. We got enough light that we won't be out of light for a while. Yeah. But once again, this is Jovi with JMRB Media, and I come to you under the banner of Wild Thoughts. Yeah, there's a lot of things to talk about, some old, some new, but I'm not going to talk about much today, just some of the stuff that's been happening. What do I really want to talk about? I don't even know. Oh, let's start with sports. Probably the most significant happenings in sports right now is we have Colombia in the Copa America qualified for the Copa America finals against Uruguay. Yeah, so they will be playing Argentina in the Copa America finals. We'll see how that goes, but I'm going with Colombia, Why? Because they have black people, right? And Argentina has a history that I won't speak about right now, but, I can't find myself covering, or following Argentina or even being a fan of Argentina. I'm not even a fan of Messi. Give me Ronaldinho. Give me Ronaldo. I like that flair. Give me Mbappe. Give me Neymar. I like flair and I like power. When I want power, I go to like when I want to see a player, that plays, with speed and power, I go to Mbappe. When I want flair, give me Neymar, Ronaldinho, Cristiano Ronaldo, things like that. Yeah. But I'm carrying Colombia. We'll see how that one end up. And then on the Euro side, we have England, and they'll be playing Spain in the Euro finals. Who am I carrying in this one? Wow. I think Spain is going to win this one. They're going to find a way. That young dude, yeah. I'm not ready to be a big fan of his yet, but, I like to see young people flourishing. That young dude, Lamine Yamal, yeah, I want to see him flourish. I want to see him do something great, in his young life, in his young career. So I'm going to go with Spain. I think Spain is going to beat England. It's going to be an ugly game, but Spain is going to win. What else in sports? Oh, yeah, the West Indies. Yeah, the West Indies, they play England. I think it's the first test, and they got bowled out for I think 121, if I'm not mistaken. A pretty small, measly score. But I mean, they have to shake off the rust. I would think that the second innings is going to be a lot better. They're going to bat a lot longer. They're going to score a lot more runs. You know, provided that they can get these England side, bowled out for a little bit. I mean, they already passed their first inning score, but let's see if we can get them out for just a little bit over that. They have Pope out there, I think, and they have what's that guy? Yeah, the former captain. Yeah, I know who I'm talking about. I'm drawing blank right now. It's pretty late. Yeah. So at this point, I hope it end in a tie. Right. I hope in the second innings, West Indies bat long enough to make it a tie. I think I can work with that. As a cricket lover and as a cricket fan, I think I can work with that. Yeah. Is that sports? Am I going to cover any American sports? What's going on in American sports right now? Which really not much. There is the summer league, the NBA summer league is going on, and even though he's not the highest draft pick, he's the talk of the town, and that's Bronny James, who's the son of Lebron James. And there's quite a buzz going on with that. I guess his first game he scored 4 points. Today he scored 3. So I probably would hedge a bet that he score probably 2 the next game. Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of talk about him. A lot of people feel like he didn't deserve it. It was he got drafted because of his dad. And a lot of people think that his career is not going to pan out, but we shall see. I mean, it's like, I think these games, he's probably just using these games, just to. I mean, he's already in the NBA, so he doesn't really have anything to play for, than just to show everybody that he can play. Because everybody's kind of doubting him right now. I guess he averaged 4 points playing for the USC Trojans, and he didn't look good for him. But that's coming off, or I think he has some harder something happened with his heart. I guess his heart stopped or something like that. So that's a major thing to come back from, and expect to go out there and perform at a high level, So we'll see, throughout the course of this next 2 years. He's under a 2-year contract. So I believe, don't quote me on that, I think he's under a 2-year contract. So let's see what happened. Throughout the course of this next NBA season, and throughout this 2-year contract. Nothing going on in football right now. It's off season going on there. The USA NBA team, the USA basketball team, actually, they got a team put together. I heard that Kawhi Leonard just left. and they replaced him with Derek White, I think, from the Boston Celtics, who just won the NBA Finals. So not too much to say about that. I don't know why Kawhi left, and that's that. You know, and those are pretty much the sports that I follow. You know, I mean, I follow all sports. I'm a sports fan. Baseball. You know, I'm a San Francisco Giants fan. You know, yeah, but there's not much to cover there. All right. So let's move to Jamaica. You know, we just had the hurricane pass through, and didn't quite hit the island, but it passed, you know, south of the island, and you know, it did some damage. You know, especially major parishes. You know, with major parish right now, the talk about right now is Saint Elizabeth. I've seen some videos and footages from what happened there, and it seemed pretty devastated. So I hope they recover, you know, speedily, you know, both in spirit and, you know, and both, you know, physically, you know, the physical environment, you know. I hope they got restored, you know, especially with power and their house these are in store, and I hope they have insurance. I wonder what the insurance game is in Jamaica, because there's so many people house got blown off and it doesn't seem like they have insurance. Because you're listening, I mean, I see some nice houses over there too, some nice 2-story houses. You know, like I hope they have insurance. I wonder what the insurance game is, and are they covered in the event of inclement weather such as a hurricane, right? So there's so much devastation out there, but I don't know. Over here in the United States, you, you can't have I yeah, I can go out and go all out and say you can't have a house without having insurance. You know, that's kind of coupled with your mortgage, right? So I hope, you know, some of them have some insurance that can, you know, replenish their roof and whatever damage, you know, water damage and things like that. You know, those are some of the things that insurance companies should be able to cover. So it doesn't make sense, you know, giving the insurance company all that money, you know, and I guess sometimes that's the rationale. Like, I ain't gonna give all this people my money, you know. I rather save my money. But the rationale is that insurance is a bet. The insurance company is betting you that, hey, look, I'm gonna get all this money and you're never gonna need it, right? Because they're in business to make a profit. On the other hand, you're betting the insurance that, hey, look, I'm paying you all this money because guess what? Someday I'm going to need it. Someday catastrophe is going to happen and I'm going to need that money. And that's pretty much what insurance is, or what life insurance is, right? You're betting the insurance company that you're going to die untimely and your family is going to need this money. The life insurance company say, hey, look, you're going to live until you're 100. And you're never going to need this money. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, and I can speak on that because I've had an insurance license before. So I know the insurance game and how it works. And you know, you come to the United States, you get involved in home ownership and all that stuff, and you kind of know the game. So I hope a lot of people have, you know, insurance and they have all the coverages that they need, you know, catastrophe, flood, you know what I mean? Things like that, you know, fire. Yeah, things like those. I do hope that's the case. You know, what else is going on with that? I'm from St. Anne, and last time I checked, they didn't have power yet. So you know, people are just slowly trying to put the pieces back together. And I see a lot of stuff going around, about charity and all that stuff, and at this point, I elect to take care of my own. I'm not saying if there's a little bit left over, I'm not going to donate to some charity, but right now, my focus is on my own, right? And family, that is, right? And relatives. So that's what, I am doing, I do have some growth in that respect. We, and I said we because it's not just me. We try to get our family a generator, and I guess there's no generator. There's no available generator for sale on the island right now. It's all being bought out, rent out, leased out, all that stuff. But we heard that some was coming. And it was coming earlier today, so we sent our family member out there to get it. And we were told by the establishment. I don't think I want to put them on blast just yet, but we were told by a representative. Well, my family member was told by a representative of a certain establishment that, hey, look, come early in the morning. We're gonna have two coming, and we were gun ho about it. We were like, hey, look, we'll even pay down on it. As long as you can guarantee us that it's coming. And they said, no, you just show up. And we showed up indeed, and they say the truck didn't come to delivering whatever generator that they were supposed to sell us. So I'm wondering, how true was that to begin with? You know what I mean? So, I just think there could be a little more professionalism there and actually find out if the thing is coming, and not waste people time. That's why you hate, because in these times, nobody have time to go waste, going across town trying to get something that is not even that is not even going to be there. A little bit of due diligence could help in terms of checking your database, some form of tracking. So I'm pretty pissed off about that. There was a little bit of runaround going on there. And that's some of the things that kind of lead into us, still even being a third world country. Like, we're not that far off. The difference between a third world country and a first world country, if you live in a first world country and you lived in a third world country, you would realize it's not that far off. A lot of it is a people and human behavior. So where professionalism is supposed to lead, that's lacking. And those are things that you practice in a first world country. You go somewhere, you stand in line. You don't try to cut the line. Like, yo, give me this, give me that. It's order. And especially in a moment like a hurricane and things like that. The last thing you want to do is get people to run around. People have bigger fishes to fry. So I'm pretty pissed off about that, but I'm not gonna go on about it. Just give out accurate information. On the other hand, I see him beating, Andrew Holness about the flyovers. And I've given it some thought, because you have the opposition, going around, and he's doing the ground mount. He's driving around and and walking through and things like that, and going through the communities and things like that, and and I see a lot of people beating Andrew Holness, and I mean Andrew Holness, I'm not really a fan of his either, you know, but I'm not gonna beat him just yet, and I'm not gonna give Mark Golden the upper hand on that just yet either, because guess what? Those resources are not afforded to him, right? He don't have what do you call that? No, a helo, or what you call a helicopter that is provided to him by the state, right? So he don't have those resources, so therefore he's not going to use those resources, right? Even if he have his own. If a lot of people is going to say, well, he's rich and he can fly over if he want, but I mean, who's going to use their own resources to do state business? It doesn't make sense. I wouldn't do it. I don't think, and he's probably a lot smarter than me, and so he's not going to do it, right? So I'm not going to give him the upper hand. I'm not going to beat Andrew. He has the state resources and he's using it, right? And you can't say Mark Golden wouldn't do it, because he's not yet afford those resources. Wait until if he win and see what happens, because he just might. Because guess what? You're the prime minister. You know what I mean? Even though it's a hurricane, you have other engagements you got to deal with, right? And you can cover a lot flying around, right? What is he going to tell those people anyway? The help is not going to come until it comes anyway. I mean, it looked like, they said they were prepared, but I don't think they were ready, and a lot of people may say, what is preparedness and what readiness is? I mean, you can be prepared, but not ready. That means you don't have all the things together. You don't have all the resources put together, right? And some of the resources is the will, right? The willpower to get things done, right? In a timely manner, right? And, or it could be just piss poor planning, right? Because that doesn't seem like stuff was planned well, because it just seemed like they're buck shuffling and figuring where they're going to approach this thing. I think what they should do is take on the easiest task first. Wherever it is easiest to clean up, you clean there first. So the country can actually start looking like it's coming back together. There's nothing like especially you clean your house, right? And you might clean up your room because it's the least, to clean at the time, and then that look good, and you might clean the bathroom, and then you move your way on out, upstairs is clean, then you go downstairs and things like that. It looks like progress is happening, but it just seems like they're trying to, it seems like some panicking going on there. So if I have any advice to give them, I would say clean up the easiest part first, right? Make it look like the country is coming back together, right? Same thing with the utility company, JPS. Get the easiest people you can get light to get them light, right? St. Elizabeth is going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of work and a lot of time. So I'm not saying don't help them right now. I'm just saying triage. That's what we do in the military, right? When it comes to combat medicine, right? The greatest deed for the greatest good, right? So who you can fix up and get him back in the fight, you fix him up and get him back into the fight. and then you deal with the one who you may have to fly out, you know, a little later, because their chances of making it is between slim and none, right? So the greatest deed for the greatest good, right? So the easiest part first, so the country looks like it's coming back together, right? And then you dig in to the other parts that has more devastation. That's what I think should happen, you know, and that should have been the plan from get-go. So as I said, it looked like the plan didn't wasn't done properly. Another thing, you know, I hear him talking about is actually financing the damages, and everybody's putting their bids right now, and it seems like the magic number is $1 billion. Everybody coming out, you know, $1 billion, you know, worth of damages, you know, like, hey, over here, you know, in education, we have $1 billion worth of damage, and over here in health is $1 billion, and $1 billion to fix the road, and $1 billion to fix this, and $1 billion to fix that. And I'm like, that seemed to be the magic number right now. Everybody's putting in their bid. All the ministers, you know, what are they going to do with it? I don't know. But $1 billion seems to be the magic number. And that's what everybody's coming with right now. As I said, charities, you know, I mean, if you have it, you know, give it to them. Just know that your money may not get to the people right now, and they're not going to get all of it either. So if they get 100 million, then people probably get 40 or 50. Because a lot of that money is going to get tied up into administrative fees, right? You have this big, bold charity, you know, there's big, bold people running it, right? And they need big, bold money to take home to their families. So all those executives who's running those charities, they got to get paid for their services. You know what I mean? They're not that charitable. You know, they're running a charity, but then they're not that charitable. They need money for their time. So a lot of these money is going to get caught up into administrative fees, you know, are to actually run the administrator, or to run the charity. So if you can get money on the ground to your community, I would say get money on the ground to your community. You know, give it to your family members. You know what I mean? This is the time when the church should play an important part. You know what I mean? So if you have a church, you know, who's doing something, you know, and you want to tap into that, I would say, you know, go ahead. I'm not a church going person, but I would say, you know, that's part of the community, and you know, now it's time to go back to community, you know, to resolve some of these issues. You know what I mean? So, and I'm talking to my diaspora people who are sending money home. You know what I mean? Send it to your family members, send it to your community. If you send it to this big, bold charity, it's going to take a time. It's going to take some time to get to them. And then it may not get to them, or they may get drips out of it. So that's what I would say. Right? But I do hope that we can come back to normal, you know, soon, and very soon. So that's all I'm going to talk about today. Okay. All right. You guys take care.